Could you like refresh my memory? Like, what exactly did Nazem Kadri do to make like Blues fans hate him so much?
Okay, so it was the 2022 playoffs, the second round. The Blues were playing the Avalanche. It's game three. The series is tied 1-1. It's the first period. The Blues are up 1-0. I'm trying to remember. There's a play in front of the net. I believe the puck goes off Bennington's pad. Then Kadri gets tangled up with Callie Rosen, and they get tangled up, and then they crash into Jordan Bennington, and it's a pretty brutal one that Bennington goes down. The net gets dislodged. Play is stopped and he's hurt. Bennington is hurt bad. He's knocked out for the rest of the series, possibly the playoffs. And Blues fans were pissed. And I think they got even more pissed when the Avalanche won that game. Billy Husso, who was originally started the playoffs, then got pulled, was put back in, and he got shelled. Blues fans were pissed, and as a result, they sent just racist and just bad things, death threats and racist messages to Nazem Kadri. And Kadri got revenge. He got a hat trick in Game Four, and the Avalanche eventually won the series in six. And Blues fans have been pissed at him since. Blues fans blame Kadri. Other fans will say Callie Rosen pushed Kadri into. They say Callie Rosen pushed Kadri into Bennington. From the way I've seen it, they both got tangled. They both lost balance. They both crashed into Bennington. The replay makes it look like Kadri was pushed into Bennington and basically tried to injure him because he had that reputation of getting suspended in the first round. He did it the year before. He did it multiple times with the Maple Leafs. He just had that reputation, and I think that's where it formed. And there was a bit of bad blood that season. There was a bit of an incident with Bennington and Kadri where Bennington swung his stick at him. And yeah, there was just bad blood. And there's probably always going to be bad blood until I think maybe someone steps up and says, all right, it's time to. Maybe someone bigger than me steps up and said, all right, it's time to move. It's going to be almost 4 years ago in May. Yeah, that's about as good of a recap as I can give.
Okay, so I'm looking at the play right now. I have it pulled up. So actually, I wonder if I can slow this down. Let's see, playback speed. Slow it down a little bit here. Okay, so yeah, here they come. Rebound off of Bennington. Okay, so yeah, I see what you mean. Like, they did get tangled, but it's like so obvious that Kadri wasn't trying to like go into Bennington, you know? Like, okay, so he had a guy defending him, right? He was making a beeline for the puck after it got deflected. He had a guy on him.
I think it's Callie Rosen who is the defender by him. I think it is Callie Rosen.
Yeah, he's not going for Bennington, right? So he crashes into him and he sort of gets redirected towards Bennington and they both crash into him. And then after that, just people are mostly concerned about Bennington. Normally, stuff would get scrappy after that, but I feel like even the Blues players recognize that like it wasn't intentional because like in hockey, going after the goalie is like a huge like you don't do that. That is a big no-no. That is like kicking the hornet's nest, so to speak. But none of the Blues players really went after Kadri as you would expect to see there because I assume they knew it wasn't his fault, right?
Initially, I don't think they didn't think it was his fault, but I think the mentality was he has his reputation, and they thought he did it intentionally. From like one angle, it looks like he's trying to injure him, but I think he said it on an interview with TNT. He was just trying to get the puck, which that's normally what you would do when there's an open rebound. He just happened to be in the wrong place at the wrong time, and now that just happened, and you can't change it. And the worst part was, I felt that series was winnable for the Blues, because honestly, the honest truth, that play changed the series. The Blues' mindset was rattled. The Avalanche took advantage of it. The Avs won in six, and they won the cup. At the Blues, if Bennington doesn't get injured, what it takes for him to not get injured, he doesn't get injured. The Blues probably win that series. They force it to a game seven that Blues definitely win because the Avalanche can't win game sevens. And maybe the Blues have another cup, but we'll never know. So yeah, that's why the Blues fans do not like Kadri.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm seeing here, you can see Barbashev, you can see Shen. They're all looking down at Bennington in concern. That was their main thing. Like, they mostly just cared about was Bennington okay. And for a while, it looked like, you know, he was down and like he was slow to get up. He was clearly in a lot of pain here. So, good on his teammates for checking on his well-being. And I just realized now, Urinating Tree made a video 3 years ago titled Nazem Kadri Rent Free, which I
Oh
probably
God, yeah,
I probably watched it back in the day, but
yeah,
I forgot all
yeah. That
about
was
it.
3 years ago. That's gonna be almost 4 years ago in late May, or yeah, I think May. Yeah, that
Hmm.
was my freshman year of high school, and now I'm technically this is my first year in college, so that's almost 4 years ago. Crazy.
Wow. So, yeah, as for how I think of Kadri as a Leafs fan, I love him. Even though the Kadri era was unsuccessful, he was loved by the fan base. Everyone had great things to say about him, with the exception of when he got suspended in that series against the Bruins. That was like the one thing that made a lot of people mad at him, but no one really stayed mad at him for long. He was well loved. He's from Ontario, so generally people there have the perception that he's like a local guy, which helps his reputation a lot. And for that reason, I was happy to see him win the cup in 2022. And maybe in another life, he'd be back with the Leafs. I grew up watching him as a Leaf, but it'll be good for him to be back on a cup contending team.